Hi guys, it is Sue here, Esoteric Empress, and I wanted to do this video from yesterday, but I did not have the chance. And if I mind myself today, I would not have done it either, but whatever, I'm feeling pumped up. Got my crystal water here, and I'm ready to go. So today I'm going to talk about something that a lot of us struggle with from time to time, especially females more often. It's getting someone back or making someone attracted to you who has already been in your life. And I've been watching a video recently, this is actually yesterday, horoscope, tarot card reading, horoscope reading, an intuitive reading for Scorpio for the month of April 2017. And it was very accurate because she talks about this exact topic. She talks about how sometimes you not necessarily are so overly in love with the person that you want them back, but you want to have that power. You want them to see you again, to recognize you and be attracted to you, to be interested in you again. Not so much a relationship or, love attraction or connection. More often than not, it is the people that we have already had in our lives that we want back. And a lot of people think, oh my gosh, I still love him or her. And sometimes not realizing that it is the memory of him or her that they still love, not so much the person, because people change. And after you've separated from someone, you've split up, broken up, and you've gone on for a certain period of time, you change as well. And so it may not be the same dynamic when if you two are once again attracted to one another and are back together. That's the sad part. But some people say, well, don't cling to a mistake just because it took you a long time making it. And you may have built a relationship for years with somebody and it couldn't work. You split up and you've gone on a certain period of time without that person. You think that you have to get them back, that this should work because we already invested so much time into this relationship. It just has to work. We're destined to be together, which is not always true. Now, I'm going to be a little personal with this story because in my life, my husband and I, this month of March, before it gets to April, this month of March has marked our 13th year anniversary of being married. 13 years. And we were together for about 16. And that's a pretty long time for people in their early 30s to be together. But as you should know, we've split up numerous times because it was hard. It's hard for young people to actually stick and commit and go through the nitty-gritty of life of being a young family. It is hard, and so sometimes you succumb to that, and we've separated a few times. Each time was about almost a year long. And when we are back together, and for the sake of what we have invested in our relationship and for the sake of our children, we decided to put our drama aside and be mature enough to come back together to one another as a family and make it work, try to overcome the hurdles that cost us in the first place. But now you realize in other situations where sometimes you're not married, you're not committed to someone, you have not put a ring on their finger or said I do, and so it's not that easy to just say resolve to make things work. There are single people all over the place looking for a kick and a kick back. But when you break up with someone, you have that time to now discover who you are as a person. You're like in a relationship with yourself. And so sometimes after you've taken that time to discover yourself, you may actually find that you enjoy your company a little bit more than you used to. You're gonna find that you're making more friends. You're getting out there, seeing the world without the opinion of someone else on the side of you, you're like, time definitely heals the pain that you may have gone through in the breakup, but the imagination, the memories are still there of that person. You remember when you first fell in love with them, and it's like, oh my gosh, what I wouldn't give to go back to those days. How can I, like, the dude is not even into me anymore. Like, I'm not talking about my husband, of course, because surprisingly, after 16 years, this man is still like crazy about me. And sometimes I am like, ugh, give me a break. But at the same time, I do love him to pieces, and that's my other half. But I'm talking about this generally because we're human beings and we all go through these things and we all have these feelings, even in a marriage. Because when I met him, at the time I was like 18 years old, I was in love with someone else, but that person went away, and through some strange turn of events, I don't know if it was the truth they were telling or a lie, but God is good. I've moved on a long time ago. But at the time, I wanted that person back. I wanted that person to see me again, like how they used to in the beginning, like that excitement, that spark. I'm like, did they get bored of me? Like, what happened? But they had some other goals and things that probably we were not compatible in that area. So I understood that. It took me a very long time to understand that too. But thankfully, life works out for the good. If you have faith and believe that it will work and you know what you want, it's going to work out. More than likely, it's going to work out. And if you see it that way as well. So yeah, and then like the person, me and hubby, had time to kind of get to know one another, and it took my mind somewhat off of that ex, So then another point too, when you break up with someone, another point is definitely you think about why you broke up in the first place. Because those issues are not going to just disappear magically because you said, oh, we're going to get back together, I love you again. That does not mean those issues are going to go away. You have to make a conscious effort to resolve those issues, that murky water that's going on in the base of your relationship. Could be trust, could be jealousy, could be money, could be romance, it could be a lot of things. So then you get to see who that person is away from you. Some people are definitely different creatures when they're not with somebody, when they're not in a relationship, or when they're not with their significant other. They become a completely different person that you don't even know. And then when you're not with them anymore, that's when you're really going to get to see their true character and get to figure out if this person is even worth a second of my mind space, a second of my time thinking about or imagining or daydreaming or fantasizing about. Because now, here goes a single guy now. He's been with you for years, and you break up. This guy's gonna wild out more than likely. If his character is not really sound and in the right place, he's gonna wild out. And you're gonna look at him and say, this guy really had no integrity to begin with. Where's your dignity? Where's, So you take that time and use that time while you're so busy daydreaming about this person and saying, oh my gosh, are you dreaming of me right now? What are you doing? Where is he? Use that time to think about yourself. Use that time to feed and nourish yourself. Use that time to understand that life is going to open up more love to you if you are the love that you want to gain. You have to be that love yourself. And that's the magic of it all, because that person may not even be thinking of you anymore. That person may be in Jabim, like on a safari, like on the back of a Jeep, like going over the dunes or something, like, and you're here moping and pining away because you're like, oh, I miss you so much. Oh my goodness, if only you called me. You've got the phone right there and you're like, ring, like, hello? Oh, hey, mommy. Like, you don't want to be like that. You want to be in control of your power, in control of your energy, in control of your life. Never let anybody take your power from you that way. Then you realize sometimes that, hey, it's been so much months. I have never thought about this person once, because that means that the connection was not really that strong to begin with. The love was not really there. You were in love, probably a sexual love where you're so lustful and physical. The whole relationship is based on physical, on probably drinking and going out to parties and getting laid when you get home. Then tomorrow you're waiting to hear from them. You're not going to hear from them. You have to call them because they're not really that into you to begin with. So be deliberate, be clear on what it is that you want and what it is that you get. Then now, your freedom is another thing. Do you really want your freedom, or do you really want to be held down to this relationship? If it's something that you really want, you are going to know for sure. You know, something you started to build together, something, you know, some really strong, powerful internal feelings that you have, not just on the outside, but on the inside. You care about the person spiritually. They care about you spiritually. They care about your growth. They care about, you know, how your emotions are from day to day. Are you okay? You know, things like that are definitely important in a relationship. Not what are you going to get me for breakfast, or, you know, which is important. The little things like that are important, because just how they respond to that can show you a lot about a person. Are they reliable? If they say they're going to do something, are they going to do it? Or you're going to have to wait forever and still go and find a way to get it yourself. Respect is another thing. In relationships, sometimes when people get too comfortable with one another, they lose a bit of respect. They lose the communication. They lose a lot of the things that make a relationship so enjoyable in the beginning, kind of dwindle as the years or time goes by. Communication is important. Trust is important. Respect is important. You know, of course, affection and all of that are important. Then some guys I realize have a liking man syndrome and LMM syndrome. They are not gay, but it's a phrase that we have here. Liking man, stop liking man, because they put their guy friends above any relationship that they're in. Bros over hoes. And if you consider your girlfriend a hoe, you got a critical problem from the get-go. Okay? And if you knew she was a hoe, if she really is a hoe, woe be unto you. But some men think that their relationship with their bros is more important to their life than sitting down, spending quality time with their female, their other half. They don't realize that the woman is there cooking, cleaning, doing all these things, sometimes not even married, I mean, which is just preposterous to me, but a married woman in particular, she's doing all the work. Or a woman who has children with him, she's doing everything while he goes out to work. Then when he gets home, he's like, oh, I've been working all day, I'm tired, I deserve a break to go out with my guys. Where does that leave her? So then now you have to think about all these things, right? The person has to be willing to compromise. And if you two are at that level and the two of you feel the same way about wanting each other back or anything like that, it could possibly work. Nothing is impossible. You just have to try. It's just about what you see, what vision you have, and the effort and energy you have to put into it. It could work. Then again, when you think about the whole overall picture, you have to be careful what you wish for, because you might just get it. A lot of times you go back into a relationship, you find it's so much harder to get out afterward. You're like, why was I so stupid? Why couldn't I see this from the first time we broke up? It took us 4 or 5 breakups for me to realize that we're just not meant for each other. I know somebody, a couple, who have been, they're not married, they have children together, they're like a common law husband-wife kind of thing. But I tell you no lie, These people are grown 30-something-year-old people. They have broken up at least 12 times. And when I mean break up, I don't mean just like, oh, I'm not talking to you, I don't want to be with you no more. Like, I mean break up, like move out of the house, like, no trans situation, all of that kind of stuff, that kind of breakup. And they keep getting back together, getting back together, getting back together, getting back together. That is preposterous. That is the definition of insanity. What is going to ever change? Like they said, your past calls and it's got nothing new to say. What would it have new to say? What have you changed for yourself after you've left this person, after you guys have split? Did you spend that right time focusing on your growth, focusing on your advancement, focusing on your health and well-being, your goals, your happiness? Focus on that. And I know a lot of you guys may have thought that this video would have been about some type of magic spell or something to get that person attracted to you. By you, the magic is you. The magic is your mind. The magic is when you go out and spend that free time now discovering the wonderful, awesome being that you are, the god or goddess within you. When you go out and exude that energy to the world, guess what? The attraction is going to be so strong. Even that person that you've been trying to attract, after you let that go, don't hold on to that like your life depends on it. After you release that energy from your consciousness, even them will look at you and be like, wow, she's really happy. Wow, she's really beautiful. Wow, she's got her stuff together. That time you may not have everything together, but you put your best foot forward and you step out like you are a king or a queen. And you don't need nobody to flip in and fill you up. You're already filled from within. So you guys, sometimes, like I said, when it is the right thing to do. Sometimes the evidence can just smack you in the face. It's right there in the front of you, laid out, everything. Sometimes you've broken up more than once, so you know for sure. It's reassurance afterward that, hey, this is not going to work. I don't have time for this. Love yourself. That's the bottom line. That's the end of this message. So thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you like, and leave me a comment. I love comments. Subscribe, guys. This is some good stuff, and I need feedback. I love sharing the knowledge. I love when I get these kinds of feelings. I know it's for a reason, to share with somebody else out there. It's gonna hit somebody. So once again, thanks for watching. Peace out. Blessed be.